What up, guys? Here with another video. This time is going to be the part 3 to the fender process on the driver's side. I'm going to be working on the back panel section. Hopefully I can complete that. Just pretty much any little final touches as far as like the welding, grinding it down, all the way till I just pretty much add primer onto that panel, and then I'll be moving along on the passenger side apron. So just kind of wanted to show you guys where I'm at with it, and then after that just pretty much trying to clean up and finish the driver's side apron so that I can move along onto the passenger side. So I'm gonna go ahead and explain what I'm gonna be doing on that one. So I got the mock-up on the sheet metal for the rear panel here. I'm trying to figure out everything as far as how I'm gonna do it. I already shaped it up on this way. I'm still gonna be doing the same process as like doing the boxing in. So same little triangle that's on this area, I'm gonna be doing the same thing. As far as like where the firewall is concerned here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plate this. I'm gonna like make a sheet metal, like plate it up like this, so that the other sheet metal can go and weld onto it. So just kind of wanted to show you guys what it looks like. Just one of those things I'm just gonna have to like work on it and do it, you know, as I go, and hopefully it comes out the way I want it to come out. So All right, guys, since the last little clip, I just kept moving forward with doing the structure on the apron and finishing up the rear panel. So unfortunately, I didn't really show the process, but let me go ahead and show you guys how it looks now. And it's getting there, it's getting closer. It's not complete, but it's pretty much boxed in. All right, so I'll let you guys get that visual. So as you guys can see now, you can, you know, everything is closed in, especially with that rear panel. I don't know if I've said this before, but obviously it's not gonna stay like this. I'm gonna grind all the welds down, and then once I grind all the welds down, I'll look to see if there's any other gaps, things like that, to kind of re-weld it. And then pretty much anything that was welded here, I'm gonna go over with body filler. Doing some research, you know, you can go either way. You can weld all the seams in and then, you know, so to fill it up with the welds and then go over with the body filler. What I think I'm gonna do is the areas that I welded now, I'm gonna go ahead and fill with body filler, you know, grind it down and fill with body filler. But the remaining areas where it had like a lot of seam sealer, I'm gonna put seam sealer again. It's just that I'm gonna do like a thin coat here, along here. You see how like on the factory, how it's like really double layered, or the way they do it from the factory, kind of just, you know, it's flat. I'm gonna try to just keep it within the areas of where they overlapped, so it looks seamless, I guess I would say, and cover all those gaps there. So when it's painted, it looks, you know, like one piece. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with the seam sealer part, at least in those areas. If like anything is flexing, seam sealer will kind of like absorb some of that, and hopefully, you know, the paint won't crack or anything. I still got to do the underneath. I still got to also trim up here. You see how there's the excess. I'm gonna work on the finishing part, would be the undercoating first. I'm gonna have everything all painted all black, so it looks nice and clean underneath, and then I'll start working on the front. And then from there, we gotta work on that side still. All right, so I put the fender back on. With the wheel on, I'm still able to roll. Everything clears. The only thing I would say that's preventing it to go any more higher would be the upper control arm is already hitting the top of the strut tower. The knuckle, I would say, I have a 30 to 35 millimeter cut knuckle, and then camber, which would be right now, when I did the first alignment on the Tiedemann setup, I set it as like -10 all around. I mean, that's not what's stopping me from like going any higher. It's the control arm and the knuckle. But as far as going lower, I would have to add more camber. I mean, you know, all those things will be adjusted at the end when everything is finished. But as you can see, as far as turning radius is concerned, I have a good amount of turning radius, even for being tucked like that. So let me show you guys with the fender off. All right, so by removing the fender, I didn't make any adjustments to the wheel. This is where the wheel and how it lays in the inside. So as you can see, it still spins, but if you look closer, you can already see the upper control arm is already at its max point where the strut tower is. So the only way to get any more travel, I would say, was to get even a shorter knuckle. I want to do that when I do 18s. The 19 wheels are nice, but for this car, or at least I feel like the older Lexuses, especially like the LS, they're good for 18s, especially if you want to be low. I know a lot of GS people, they run 19s just because it clears like that gap between like the body and like if you have a kit and stuff like that, and it looks good. But as far as me trying to reach my goal to ride as low as possible, I would have to go 18s. Well, I don't have to, but I would want to. So all right, so put some Metch primer underneath, let that dry. Then I went and cleaned it up, put some seam sealer underneath. After I did the seam sealer, I went ahead and put the undercoating. Undercoating looks nice. Yeah, just take a look at this. Undercoating makes a big difference. Everything else pretty much seam sealed, and then I undercoated the rest. I primed up the top, grind down the welds. But my main project for this part was the underside. So I can finish that up. I'll start working on the passenger apron before I start working on body work on the engine bay. So just wanted to finish this up so I could put the suspension back on, clean up some of the suspension just because it's been dirty. I wish honestly that I took off all the suspension while doing this, but since I wasn't too sure about how the wheel was gonna be working or clearance, I left it on. Just I wanted to double check that, but now that I have an idea, I don't know if I'm gonna do it on the other side, but now I'm just gonna clean the suspension up just because it's so dirty with all the grime and metal shavings and stuff. So it's how it came out. A lot cleaner, or it looks a lot cleaner now just because of the undercoating. With the passenger side, I'm not sure if I'm gonna really be recording all of it. I'm probably just gonna put on a big time lapse and just show like the whole process, because you guys kind of pretty much seen what I was working on here. So the next big thing would be doing the body work and all that stuff. So I'll probably just, you know, take a little bit more time of recording that. So that's pretty much it, guys. See you guys in the next video. Peace.